Okay. Just point to me. Hey, welcome. Hey, welcome to the Bluejay Banter post-game show. Normally we're live at Let It Fly, but tonight we're live right here in Kansas City after the Jays' big win over Loyola, 88-65. We're live here at the Marriott downtown, so next time you come to KC, or maybe you're coming down tomorrow, see if they have rooms available and stay right here at the Marriott downtown. Just a short walk to the T-Mobile Arena where the Jays beat Loyola and move on to the championship game tomorrow at 3 o'clock against Colorado State. If you're watching live on YouTube, thank you very much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like button. We got a jam-packed show for you. Joining me today, Jerry Lampe. If you've watched our shows last year, you remember Jerry helping out. How you doing, man?
Just fine, Tim. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, what did you think of the game?
You know, it's kind of a tale of two halves. Obviously, Baylor had a great first half, kept us in the game. I thought we got off to a little bit of a slow start. And then, obviously, Cockburn in the second half, we pushed the lead from basically 8 points to 20-something. It actually won comfortably. But, yeah, a little bit of a slow start. Obviously, Trey didn't have one of his, better games. But I think there was a lot of focus on him from the Loyola side to keep him shut down. So.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like you mentioned, double-edged sword. On one hand, yeah, they were really focused on him. On the other hand, and we'll talk to Coach. We're going to have Coach Ryan Miller here in a little bit. We'll talk to him about this. But it appeared Trey maybe wasn't 100% today. I don't know. He seemed a little sluggish and maybe a step slow, especially to start out the game. I thought as the game went along, he kind of got better and got quicker. And he was just having trouble even, that patented in-the-lane shot. He was having trouble controlling his body on those. But we'll have Coach Miller here in a minute. And then later on, we're going to have Baylor Scheierman. Key cog tonight in the Jays win, scored 24 points, 5 of 8 from 3, and that kind of sealed it up. Want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Care Minders and Equitable Bank, as always. We're going to have our normal features, Unsung Hero, Worst Call of the Game, and then Coach's Corner, and then the player profile tonight, as we mentioned, will be Baylor Scheierman, and then we'll wrap it up with opponent preview. But right now, I just want to talk to you a minute about Care Minders Home Health Care. They're our title sponsor, and when you're in need of home health care, call Care Minders today. Their agency is comprised of certified caregivers who have many years of experience, and you'll receive versatile, flexible, and customized care for your comfort and peace of mind and well-being. So give them a call today, 402-532-1383, or go to caremindersnebraska.com. Check them out, Care Minders. You'll be glad you did, and it's now time for Coach's Corner. And joining us, Assistant Coach Ryan Miller. Coach, congratulations. Thank you. Just your thoughts on the game briefly.
I mean, Chicago, well-coached team. I mean, we knew they presented some challenges, especially with their switching defenses, their aggressiveness defensively. We were able to make some adjustments in the second half and take advantage of some of their switching and some of their aggressiveness and use it against them a little bit. And we were able to get some good looks at the rim, and then, which opened up some three-point attempts that we were able to make.
It helps when your big guy knocks 4 for 8 down, huh?
Exactly right. We knew they were going in, that they'd probably sag back a little bit on them. And if we took action to the rim, we'd have chances for him to, work on, make a shot that he's been working on a lot, like through our hit and chase.
Yeah.
Look down low, and if they're not guarding him, let it fly. And that's what he did tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about Trey. You had something going through at first. Mason missed the game, or illness. Was Trout okay today, or was he a little bit under the weather as well?
No, Trout was okay. They were just playing small lineups out there, so we had to match up some of their smaller lineups with Farabello, where he got more extended minutes because of that, because they had 4 guards out there. And to prevent some mismatches out there in the perimeter and them spreading us out, we just matched it down with them. And
then, I was talking with their color commentator on the radio, and I mean, their key was to try and stop Trey. Obviously, did a great job, but he just seemed a little bit like a half slow all night long. Just couldn't really get going because of that pressure they put on him.
Yeah, they were very physical, Trey. They denied catches back to him. They were trying to send him a weak side off pick and roll all time, and that's why we're a basketball team. you try to take away one part of our team, and other guys step up to the game. Baylor had a great game offensively. I mean, Trey had a great game too, just because he didn't score or whatnot. And he had a couple turnovers that are kind of uncharacteristic, but he played well too. He's tasked assignment to guard the best player in the opposing team. Tonight he was had to guard zero for most Watson for most of the game.
Yeah.
And then he played a great team game too. But sometimes you got to get the ball moving. Sometimes it's the other guys' nights. And Kalkbrenner and Baylor and the rest of the team performed at a very high level.
We're here with assistant coach Ryan Miller. Two things to your point. Number one, I was commenting a few people on Twitter, and I was like, guys, that's what makes this team so great.
Yeah.
Somebody has a little bit off night, then Baylor and Kalk step up,
sure.
okay? And we've seen it several times this season. Somebody else steps up. Tonight, Ashworth stepped up a little bit. It's going to be that way all season long because teams got to figure out a way to take something away and hope the other guys don't contribute.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to game plan us. And, Trey had a terrific week last week. So, they got real physical with him, and they were trying to key on him. And then that's why you have a basketball team, and that's why, if they're going to try to take one part away, we attack different ways. And we went inside Kalkbrenner, which opened up some outside shots. Then we were able to get stops. We got on transition and make some threes in transition. And, with this team, if we can get stops and multiple stops together, at some point we're going to bang 2 or 3 threes and go on that 6 to 9-0 run, which really is hard to come back from. Yeah,
and you mentioned Trey on Watson, and for the big chunk of the game, he really held him down.
Oh, no question. I mean, we knew he was our guy, and they were going to go through him, and, we put our best defender on him, and, we tried to take him away, and we did for the most part with Trey.
I keep telling people I watched like a ton of Ashworth last year in the Mountain West, and I just loved his game and just was thrilled that he was available for us to come here. And people are kind of like waiting. I'm like, guys, you got to be patient, okay? But even tonight, sure, he hit some three, but you look at it, 4-for-1 turnover to assist to turnover ratio. I mean, that's all we need on this team.
Oh, no question. No, he's he has a lot of experience playing at a pretty high level in the Mountain West Conference at Utah State. And we knew that coming in. He showed it tonight. His steadiness, his ability to make shots, which we already knew. He shot 46% last year from three against good competition. Mr. Ashworth's been pretty dang good for us, and he's going to keep it going, man. He's mentally and physically mature and able to fit in very similar to Baylor did last year as a transfer.
And what a great teammate too, and a coach on the floor, really.
No question, and his experiences, and he's just fit right in and seamlessly. It's been an impressive deal to be able to coach a kid like him who can come in there and fit into a system and style that is like ours.
Great to get Jason Green back on the floor, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good to have Jason Green come back from injury and give us some valuable minutes and make a couple key plays defensively and get on the glass and get his first college points too.
Now, you were sitting right in front of me during the first game and obviously scouting Colorado State. What did you see from them? What kind of things do they possess to you guys? What kind of problems do they cause?
I mean, first of all, they kicked our butt a couple years ago in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
So, they're high octane.
Not that anybody's remembering that game.
Yes, we remember quite vividly. They're a high octane offense team. We're going to be physical with them. We're going to have to, they cut, they move, they space. I mean, we're going to have to be physical with them, take away some of that airspace so they can't move so free. Defensively, we're going to have to challenge them, get them off the three-point line. They're an efficient three-point shooting team. Can't let them get going from three, and then we got to make them take tough twos. And offensively, we got to take care of some of the matchups we got on our end and get some of these guys to guard in space and pace and get the ball moving, get the ball popping, and play Creighton basketball. And if we do that, we'll more than likely come away with a victory tomorrow.
Because you do have, the ability and capability to go down low on them, much like you did tonight. Tonight, you really started off going inside out.
Yeah, that's our game plan going into almost any game. We go one of the top 5 bigs in the country. We're going to try to establish post presence, try to establish an interior presence and play from the inside out, play from the foundation and outside, and then really start getting, instead of good threes, we want to get great threes. And if we can get a defensive collapsing defense really overreacting to our interior play, whether it's drives or post-ups, now we can start spraying for open threes, and that's Creighton basketball right there. Get it in, get it out, let it fly.
Got it. We got to mention this, CHI South tonight. Man, the crowd was great.
Oh, spectacular. That's one thing about being a coach here and be part of this program. The fan support, the local and regional support's unmatched. I've coached 7 different Division I institutions, and this is maybe the finest places to be as far as fan engagement and passion and caring about our program. And that's one reason, I mean, probably the biggest reason we're actually having the success we've had the last few years, and we're a top 10 team right now this year too, because people care. And if the people care, the program cares, and then you have great leadership like Coach Mack, and everything just trickles down.
Sure. Coach, congratulations.
Appreciate
Happy
it, Tim.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
been
bring
awesome.
home a title,
I'll try to
man.
win tomorrow.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys. Thank
All right,
you.
thanks. That's Assistant Coach Ryan Miller, and again, CareMinders Home Care. You know, if you have home care for an injured, ill, or senior loved one and something maybe you don't think about until it's time, and in speaking with Jim over there at CareMinders, he's a huge Jays fan, and he mentioned to me that people don't reach out to them just, out of the blue. It's always when they need the care, sometimes even past the time they need it, and that's when CareMinders is there for you, and that's when their service will mean so much to you. So give them a call, 402-532-1383. And if you're not ready for the services, don't worry. Just check out their website, caremindersnebraska.com, and you'll see all that they offer, and I think you'll be very, very happy you did. I want to thank Coach Miller for being here. Gave us a little scouting report of Colorado State. And, you were mentioning that they went small quite a bit.
Colorado State?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of times on the floor, this biggest guy they had out there, 6'7", and actually they had an offense where they had 5 guys outside the arc. So that's going to create, a challenge for Creighton. How are you going to defend that? And on the flip side, though, we should be able to pound it down low to Ryan. And they're going to have to double team, or Calk might have 40 tomorrow. But having to guard a team that's 5 guys outside the arc is going to be a challenge, obviously.
I was in the press area right below us where the Colorado State coaches the whole game, and they were scouting him, obviously. Kalkbrenner hits that 4-3, and they just all got up and walked out shaking their heads like, man, what are we going to do?
Well, Ryan might have to go out and guard the 3 tomorrow a little bit if Colorado State goes small. But then on the flip side, we should be able to pound it down low. And Colorado State did get in foul trouble today. I think I saw where they had 18 fouls. So if we can pound it down low and not turn it over, we should be able to create a lot of foul trouble issue for Colorado State.
There was a ton of fouls in that game, the Colorado-BC game. So, and then we're talking about high-volume games, and probably before the season started, we're not talking about this Colorado State game. No. This game's going to be I would think, in the mid-80s.
Oh, I think so.
Their
guards, they like to shoot the 3. They got that number 4. He's got a lot of moxie. He was talking out there. So, I'm sure he's going to try to take it to Creighton and put up some points, whether 3-pointers or take it down low and pull up with the mid-range jumpers. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Unsung hero. Who would you say was the unsung hero tonight, Jerry?
I would go with Francisco just because he played a lot of minutes, played some solid 2. I know he gave Baylor some open 3s. I know he passed to Baylor to hit a couple open 3s. I know when Steve Ashworth hit that shot in the corner, Francisco actually gave up an open 3 to get it to Ashworth down the corner for an open look. So he played a lot of minutes. He played solid ball, and with Mason being out, he had to step up and play more minutes. I think he played over 30 minutes, which was probably a Creighton high for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing he did, too, in that second half, we at times had trouble getting the ball in the Calk, and he made a great baseline pass into Calk for an easy, too. That was really good.
Yep, he's a smart player, a lot of experience, and we're gonna need that this year, especially with being one player down. He stepped up and took over a lot of minutes.
Yeah. As we said earlier, we will have a player profile in just a minute. Baylor Scheierman is heading our way shortly, so he'll be here, and it'll be great to talk to Baylor. It'll be the first time on our show this year we've talked to Baylor. Should mention for you people that are maybe it's the holidays, the first time you've seen our show, we're normally live down at the Let It Fly Sports Bar in downtown Omaha, just a few steps away from the CHI Center. So make sure when you go to Creighton games, you come on in before the game. Have a few drinks, eat some great food, and then afterwards come on down and you'll be able to listen through their headsets to our show as we're doing it live right there in the sports bar in the fabulous podcast studio they have. So make sure and put that on your list as a game day activity. I want to thank Let Fly. I want to thank fabulous people here at Marriott downtown in Kansas City for all their hospitality, getting us set up down here in a great location right off the bar, easy to access the players and coaches. And we want to thank them a lot. And your next trip down to Kansas City, make sure you check out the Marriott downtown, a fabulous facility. And we were mentioning, you don't see very many hotels, bars that have a screen like that. They probably have, what, 4 or 5 games on there one time?
Of course, this hotel serves basically the T-Mobile Center now, so a lot of times there'll be basketball games at T-Mobile. You'll have a lot of basketball fans here, so that's why I think why you have the big screens.
Yep, absolutely. Jays win 88-65, as we said. Worst call of the game?
I don't know. I know Mac was upset when they called that charge on Baylor. Flying in there, he was a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if the guy was set or in the arc. I don't know.
I think Mac was upset with that just strictly because this year that hasn't been a charge.
Right.
Other years it would have been a charge.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have to see that one again. There was a call in Ashworth where everybody looked around and said, "What did we do there?"
Right. A little bit of a bump, but with all the physicality going on in the game, you usually don't see that called. It was like they blew the whistle, and it was a kind of a ticky-tack foul.
Yeah. There was a couple of those. Another one down on the defensive end, too, in the first half. And yeah, I don't know that there was one particular call. Mac was upset with several of them, though.
Yeah. I know Baylor will agree. In the second half, when he drove the baseline and put it up for 2, he got pushed pretty hard out of bounds, and he was looking at the ref, wanting to know where the and one was at. So
oh, yeah, that was one. We'll have to ask him about that one. Yeah, I remember that one as well.
Right.
Yep.
I was sitting right down there, so I had a good view of it. He did get bumped, but it was kind of like, oh, he made the shot, just let him go. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we are. The first time we've actually had some calls. I think the only other game we had a call was the Iowa game. And that was actually, I had a call on Iowa, that and one to Frederick King. You remember that? Mm-hmm. I thought that was a terrible call. He was fouled on the floor.
Right.
And,
that was a major.
That was one that Fran went crazy on. But
right.
Yeah, we can't do a show without mentioning Fran's name.
Yeah.
At any rate, Jays win 88-65. They move on to the championship game against Colorado State, who easily defeated Boston College. We were talking on the way over here. Boy, I went up and down the league. It's going to be hard-pressed to think that they're not going to end up at the bottom of the league.
Yeah, they're going to struggle, and they're going to struggle. A lot of turnovers they had. They really don't have an identity out there. They've got a tall guy, 7 foot from the Netherlands, and I think he had over 20, but they really didn't focus on getting him the ball and taking advantage of that.
Well, he had some threes, right?
He did. He shot some threes. Post.
That's how he got a lot of his points.
Yeah. Of course, those European players, even the 7-footers, the three-point shooters. So.
Right. Well, we got one like Baylor Scheierman, European from Aurora, Nebraska.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, there you go. So Colorado State, the Mount West, I think maybe, obviously San Diego State at the top, but then I think that next group, I think there's an opportunity to move up between Boise State, Utah State, Colorado State, Wyoming. All those teams have an opportunity to move up toward the top there. And I think certainly Colorado State, very well coached. Nico's a really good coach.
Yeah, the guy was at Drake for a year, had a good year, and used that as a stepping stone to land this Colorado State job. And we have to remember, too, Colorado State's not going to get a lot of opportunities to play top 10 teams this year. So they're going to come out ready to play because this is their chance to shine on a big stage playing a number 8 Creighton team.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. We want to mention, so we will not have a show tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. We will not be here. So there'll be no Bluejay Banter Let It Fly post-game tomorrow. Our next one will be a week from tomorrow. It'll be our first true road game. It'll be the first time we will have a post-game show live at Let It Fly immediately following the Oklahoma State Creighton game, another team that's struggling.
Oh, big time. They have some talent, but they just haven't put it together yet.
Really surprising me how much they're struggling. Them, Missouri, I would say another team. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry that they really surprised me. And St. Mary's is 1-3 right now with a loss to Weber State. It's not a bad program. It's certainly a team that they should beat. Those are, I think, you'd probably have to say 3 of the biggest disappointments on the season so far.
So, but obviously Oklahoma State, they're going to have some elite athletes there. So playing at their place, they're going to be pumped up. They're playing a top 10 team. So, but I haven't seen Oklahoma State play. I just know they've struggled. And you got to know do they have a good point guard? I mean, but yeah, they've lost some games that were surprising. So
yeah, absolutely. We're also mentioning, the Maui Classic. We thought, wow, what a field. I mean, the field this year trumped that by wide margin. You got number 1 versus number 2 going tonight. But we also commented, kind of odd 5th place game tonight, Gonzaga and UCLA.
Right, 2 big names.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how, I wouldn't call Gonzaga a top 5 team this year. I don't think they're, you know, obviously they're going to get a lot of wins in the conference they play, but, you know, and obviously UCLA's got the name too. They're 2 top 20 teams, but you wouldn't expect them playing for 5th place in the Maui Classic.
Yeah,
either,
but,
so.
you know, the field's so loaded, somebody has to lose those games. And, you know, UCLA just barely lost to Marquette.
Right.
And Gonzaga played a brutal game against Tennessee, so it was, you know.
Yeah. But obviously it's a good win for
those
the
are
Big
good
East.
losses, really,
Right.
you know, for those teams.
Good win for the Big East last night. Marquette thumping KU by 20 points. I mean, they really looked good last night. Just, they turned the KU over 22 points. They shut Dickerson down, who's got a lot of prep for the Player of the Year. Marquette really outplayed them. And Marquette, you know, their ball pressure is elite. And if you're not come ready to play and you're not strong with the basketball, they're going to turn you over. And they turn those points over into turnovers into points. So
and we know about Cam Jones, but those other 2 guards are that 22. I forget his name. God, what's his name? He is so jet quick. My goodness.
I forget what his name is.
Yeah.
Shaka said he's the fastest kid in college basketball.
Yeah.
So.
But
I was impressed with their center Ogadala.
Yeah.
I thought his offensive game, it really improved over last year. Of course, he was like the number 5 option last year, but he really took it to Hunter Dickinson last night. So
he did, and I was surprised. I thought Prosper, although Kolek was worthy MVP of the league, I thought Prosper was the guy that really made them go. And I thought, boy, you're going to lose a big piece there. You might take a step back. They sure haven't so
they
far.
looked as good, if not better, than last year.
Yeah.
So their defensive pressure is still the same. They don't have the stopper. Obviously, Prosper's the only guy that shut down Hawkins in the last 2 months of the season. So, you know, they lost their best defender, but they've got guys to refill them. They've got a lot of experience. I mean, all those guys are back except Prosper. So they looked like a very confident team last night playing KU. They weren't intimidated at all by the Candace on the other jersey.
Yeah. And right now we've got Purdue up by 3. Yep. So there they are playing the number 1 team in the country. And
to me, we want Marquette undefeated when we go play them on the 30th of December.
Careful what you ask for.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
You're listening to and watching the Bluejay Banter postgame show. We're live here at the Marriott downtown Kansas City. We're awaiting Baylor Scheierman. They told me he was on his way. I haven't seen him yet. Hopefully he can find our location. He should. We're very accessible right off the big, huge lounge here in the lobby of the Marriott. Were you surprised, as I was? I mean, obviously I knew we'd have the most fans, but I was surprised by the number of Creighton fans there tonight.
Well, it's an easy place to drive. It's a 3-hour drive from Omaha. The only bad thing is the dates, obviously being the day before Thanksgiving and the championship game tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. I think if this game was played Friday night and Saturday night, we'd fill that place up.
Yeah.
So.
And I just, because of that, you know, I was here the last time they were here when UCLA was here, Baylor was here, and we had a nice crowd, don't get me wrong, but the other teams brought fans too, so the arena was fuller. But I was shocked, like the side behind the Creighton bench, all that whole side was just solid blue. There was a few Loyola people behind their bench. Other than that, it was just a huge wave of blue. Plus what you couldn't see on TV was on the other side. There was tons of Creighton fans on pretty much, I'd say getting about 2/3 of that other side half full. Or 2/3 full, excuse me.
Creighton's a hot ticket right now.
I mean, it was great to see. Somebody texted me and said, I didn't hear, like it sounded very quiet in there. I guess there was only a couple times where the crowd really got going on a few of those runs. Otherwise, it was, I don't want to say it was a rock fight because we were scoring a lot of points, but it was kind of back and forth. There was nothing really spectacular, and you know, but we got on a couple of those runs. Then I thought the crowd was very loud. I think the crowd will probably be even louder tomorrow.
Yeah, with the championship game, playing Colorado State. Obviously, the field is probably not as strong as you'd want. There's no other top 25 team in the field.
Right.
You know, if a Missouri or K-State would be here, that would be probably draw some more fans.
Oh, it'd be a ton more fans,
right.
yeah.
So
And Missouri was a team that backed out, and I don't know who they had to get to fill that slot, but Creighton had an opportunity to maybe back out, but Mac kept his commitment because this is the National Association of Basketball Coaches.
Right.
And it's very obviously near and dear to the coach's heart. So it's a big tournament for them, and it supports everything that they do. So these teams tend to want to come here. I was thinking, wow, that really would have would have helped our overall strength of schedule with Missouri, but I'm not so sure now. The way Missouri's going
this year. They really have.
Kansas State would have been really intriguing with Columa.
Arthur, right.
Yeah.
Now, Arthur struggled, but he did have a good game the other night. I think he had 18 points and 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
So
after
obviously adjusting to a new system. Yeah, it would have been fun to play K-State and see 24 across wearing a purple and white jersey. So
yeah, it would have been. I wouldn't say he was benched, but there were some issues there.
Yeah.
And the coach
I think the coach called it buying in.
Yeah, said so much in a press conference.
And we saw that at times with Arthur in his Creighton career. He wasn't always bought into what we're trying to do. And obviously we miss his athletic ability, his rebounding, but kids transfer now. That you're not going to be able to keep everybody in the system. So.
Yep. Hey, we're going to go. We're going to bring on Baylor here in a second, and let's go to just discussing a little bit about Equitable Bank. We take banking. Personally, they're the bank of Bluejay Banter. Been serving the community, since 1882. And, times have changed, but their technology is second to none. Perfect example of this, their lobby in the Pierce Street location. It's just fabulous. If you haven't been there, make sure you go and stop in. They take the headache away from banking, and they have a great personal checking option. So check them out. That's Equitable Bank, 2 great locations, Elkhorn, and then also in the Old Mill area, right south of the Schwab headquarters. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally, and it's time for the player profile. I don't know, maybe we could say player of the game. We're here with Mr. Baylor Scheierman. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We were just talking, we have a segment, Where's Call the Night? So, Jerry, you had a question about Baylor and
that baseline drive in the second half, you put it up, you got pushed out of bounds pretty hard. I mean, I looked at the ref like, hey, where's the N1 at, right?
Yeah, it was a very physical game, and I thought some of the fouls they were calling on the other end, we weren't getting the same calls on our end, and so, yeah, like you said, I drove, and I felt like I definitely got pushed.
Oh, yeah.
And the ref, just shakes your head like, yeah, I got you.
I think because you made it, you just, shrugged it off.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, there was a couple of afterwards one time, you're like, what did I do? I don't know. Just tell me, please.
Exactly.
You got it going from 3 today.
Yeah, it was good. I think I found a lot of shots within our offense and was just able to knock them down. I didn't really try to do anything too out of the ordinary. Just was able to find my spots in the offense, and my teammates found me and was able to knock them down. So.
Yeah, it was a little bit different because the first few games we played, teams have really tried to take away Kalk and take away the pick and roll, the lob, and so we found some open. Today, we were able to get the ball in, but then we were going back outside and making it work. And they were so focused on taking Trey away that opened everybody else up.
100%. And like you said, we were able to get it into Kalk, and they do a lot of switching on defense, and so we were able to get the mismatches, especially on Kalk, and get them down low. And if they didn't help, we'd throw it to Kalk, and if they did, we'd skip and find open shooters. So it was a good game for us. Obviously, we started the second half great, especially on the defensive end, and tomorrow's going to be another great opponent. So.
Wow, so all those shots he's been taking, today he got some open looks and he knocked them down, Mr. Kalkbrenner.
Yeah, it was great to see for him. Obviously, he put a lot of time in the summer and in the fall working on his jump shot, and, he shot him a lot in practice, and obviously this was the game, kind of his coming out party in terms of shooting it. If he's going to make 4 out of 8, I have no problem with him shooting 8 times. So.
Well, I was telling Jerry that the Colorado State coach is right in front of me watching, and when he made the last one, they all got up and walked out and went, I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, if he's gonna go 4 of 8 from 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I mean, he's already such a phenomenal player, and if he can shoot it like that consistently, then what do you do?
Well, the long-term benefits of that are just undescribable because now that's on film. Now they're like, okay, we can't let him. And I refer back to last year. very similar when you played UConn.
Yeah.
And their big came out, and you're like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you mean? Oh wait, there's 2. Oh, there's 3.
Yeah.
You know, now you're like, okay, Calk needs to come out.
Yes,
you know,
sir. Yep.
and now that changes everything underneath.
100%. It changes the way you scout and the way you prepare for a team to play when you have to have your 5-man come all the way up to the 3-point arc to guard and leave the paint. So.
I've been telling people, like, I watched him so much last year on TV, and how good Ashworth is. It's nice to see tonight where he 4 assists, 1 turnover, knocked down some threes, a real factor out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's always an adjustment period regardless of how good you are coming into a new team. And obviously, you know, there's been a couple games I think he's kind of struggled to just kind of find his rhythm a little bit. But he's a great teammate, and all he cares about is winning. And tonight, you know, he was able to make some big-time plays and big-time shots, especially in the second half, to help us win. And obviously, like you said, finding guys. He had 5 assists or whatnot. So.
Yeah. And you can speak to that.
Yeah.
Coming to a new team, it doesn't matter how talented you are. There's just this meshing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And like I tell people all the time, you know, he's played at Utah State for 3 years. He's so comfortable in that system and where things are coming from and where his shots are going to come from. And then you come to a new system, and like you said, even though he fits with us really well, there's still an adjustment period because he's not doing all the same things he was doing at Utah State. Because, you know, we just have a very talented team and different guys that can do different things. And so he's doing different roles as well. But he's adjusted well, and like I said before, I mean, he's a great teammate. So
what people don't understand, too, is how close this team is and how much you root for one another. I go to these practices, and you see it all the time. I keep going back to one practice he had in CHI before the season started. Max just, like, trying to figure out a way to, like, hey, these guys are ready to play. And you and I think Calk were on the bench, and Josiah made a layup in, and you run out there like you won the national title and all this. So you had to be really happy for Jason to get on the floor tonight and get his first 2 points.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Jason worked his tail off, you know, all last year redshirting, but then also this summer and this fall to be prepared to, you know, contribute to this team. And then obviously he got hurt, which sucked for him, and he's been battling back. But for him to get back and get in the game and make some impact plays there, it was great to see. And like you said, you know, we're a team that's very close. The chemistry is very high, and we just root for one another. So.
Well, it was just so bad that, you know, he's healthy now as we start getting into the meat of the season. Like, he would have got a lot of minutes in these other games, which would have been beneficial to him. You know, that's the shame of it all.
No, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's something that's been really nice for our team. You know, as a whole this year, that, you know, last year we didn't have a lot of opportunities for that, where a lot of the young guys got to get in and get rhythm, especially our bench guys. And this year, they've been able to do that, and I think you see that with how we play and how comfortable everybody is out there.
I think as we wrap up here, tell the folks a little bit about, like, you're on the road here. What happens when a tournament setting? Okay, so the coaches are probably going up right now, breaking down all the film they got today at Colorado State, and they've already have a bunch, but now more today.
Yep.
So what's for a player like yourself? What's your schedule here, starting right now through the rest of the evening and then into tomorrow?
Yep. So we'll have dinner here in an hour, and then after dinner, we'll get some treatment and we'll watch film first of Colorado State. Kind of just some.
Okay, so you'll kick it off tonight.
Yeah,
with film.
kicking off tonight with film on Colorado State, and then we'll get some treatment, and then we'll go to bed, and then we'll wake up tomorrow, have breakfast, probably watch some film again, and then we'll have a walkthrough either at the gym or here at the arena, or at the gym or here in like a ballroom, and kind of go over some of their more common actions and try to get accustomed to that. And then we'll go to the game, and it'll be game time. It's like you said, it's different in the tournament settings where you play back-to-back because you don't have any time to really practice and truly scout for a team. So a lot of it is just mental preparation and kind of just trusting the fundamentals of how you play.
Are you guys, now take away the fact that it's Thanksgiving and you're going to get a little break after this.
Yeah.
But are you happy it's a 3 o'clock game so you can get back out there again, or would you rather have it a 7 o'clocker?
No, 3 o'clock for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, play and get home for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
No question.
One last thing, and we were talking about this now. After tomorrow, when you look at the schedule, you're just blown away. I think there's 5 or 6 games within a 35-day span, which is unheard of in college basketball.
Yeah.
You think about last year when you had all those games at Maui and you had to turn around and play Texas and Nebraska.
Exactly.
What's that going to be like? Because I know Mac will like it because
Yeah.
he always says, geez, we haven't had enough practice time to
Yeah.
work on ourselves.
Yeah.
So he'll love that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you guys will.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a balance to both. I think, last year, obviously said the schedule was so crazy and we were just kind of all burnt out. And, we ended up a lot of guys getting sick and whatnot. And even like you said, we'll have 5 games and however many days it is. But I feel like these past 2 weeks have been kind of busy too. I mean, we had a 6-day stretch where we
Sure.
didn't have an off day, and then we had an off day, and now we're going 7 days straight with no off day. So I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing. We'll be mentally, locked in to approach whatever situation we come into. But yeah, it is interesting that you say that because I mean, after tomorrow we don't play for another week, but it'll be good. I mean, it's time to rest and heal body and bruises that you've gotten over the start of this first few weeks of the season. And get ready to finish the non-conference season strong because after that, you jump right into conference play pretty quickly.
And you can have a chance to talk to all the new guys about that game in early December over there
Yeah.
west of Omaha.
Yeah,
How important that is for fans.
Yeah, for fans, exactly. I feel like, I'm not going to speak on that. I mean, yeah, the fans care about that game a lot. But you got to approach it just like any other game.
Yeah,
that's all
absolutely.
You can do, so.
Well, Ashworth made a comment to me. It was on the TV one time when I was on, and he was already into it, so I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about you. You're already into it. You already understand.
Yeah.
Baylor, congratulations. Great game. Let's bring home a title tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Baylor Scheierman, everybody, and that was sponsored by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Doug Nuggaard, a huge Jays fan, president of Equitable Bank. He wants you to join the many, like myself, at Bluejay Banter, who have switched over to Equitable Bank. They are just awesome. We went in there recently, and everybody jumped up out of their chair immediately as we walked through the door to help us. And that kind of service you just can't buy. And so they're tremendous customer service. Want to thank them for being a sponsor. And Equitable Bank, they take banking personally. And as their commercial says, they do answer the phone on the first ring. That's Equitable Bank, 2 great area locations. Check them out today. All right. Well, I think we covered everything. We got a good scouting report from Coach Miller on Colorado State. You gave us good scouting report where, they're a little bit undersized, but they do.
Creates different challenges.
Yeah, which is great because, we're going to have different challenges like that. Now, I don't think so much when we get in the Big East. Most teams there have a couple of big guys at the 4 and 5 where you have to,
But when you play the first round NCAA, say we're a 2 or 3 seed, you're going to play a 14 seed that maybe their tallest guy is 6'7", but you've got to be able to,
play like Princeton last year,
They spread the floor out, so at least it prepares you for that.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
One thing I wanted to say, obviously we didn't know Baylor was going to come back next year, so I know when he announced this spring he was coming back for a 5th, 6th year. That was exciting. Obviously, great to have him back another year. We need that experience. I hope, he has a great year and enjoys the year, but I remember how excited I was when I saw he posted on social media he was coming back. So, because he went through senior day last year, we thought that was it. We're going to get 1 year for Baylor. And like I said, hopefully, he has a good year. They hit their goals. But yeah, good to have him back. We didn't know last year he was going to be back next year.
Yeah, and you can tell he's having fun.
Oh yeah, I still say when he's 40, he'll say, I'm glad he came back for Creighton that last year. So.
All right, we want to thank everybody on YouTube for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button and spread the word to all Jays fans. Again, no show tomorrow, but we will join you a week from tomorrow, live at Let It Fly, right after the Oklahoma State game. I think that's an 8 o'clock game, so we'll be on board a little after 10 o'clock. So join us right here on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at Bluejay Banter and at Let It Fly Omaha. For Jerry Lampe, thanks for filling in. Tim Kruger. Great staff, Mac Pittman and Val. They did a terrific job setting all this up. And thanks again to Marriott, downtown Kansas City, for helping us out. Thanks, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you a week from tomorrow.